closer here. So, fellow Rotarians, when we started the Multiclub Learning Seminar in Lagos, specifically at the Dowen College in Lekki, Lagos, on the 6th of September, we had some resourceful Rotarians who impacted us positively. And you know, Rotary is a knowledge-driven organization. We learn every day, and then new things come up for us. And one of those Rotarians who have been consistent in impacting knowledge on us is the chairman of the Rotary Foundation Committee of District 9112. So if your hands are not too busy, please give a resounding applause to past District Governor Olabisi Abiodun. He has been consistent. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, Zone 5, and today, Zone 6. I think it is us. And so, today, gold or silver we do not have. But from our hearts, we want to present you this. Please accept it as our token. We know that it does not even cover anything around what you have done to us from Lagos all through to the state. That means that he has traversed the 2 states that our district covers. What else can we hope for? So once again, sir, I want to thank you very much, sir, for this. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you, my district governor. A resounding applause again for district governor. And one thing that the district governor is always happy about is that the PDD continues to give to Rotary Foundation in millions. And if it's going giving in dollars, thousands of dollars, not very $100. Let's have a standing applause for him again. So I will, at this moment, the last person to clap with $200. Tinitayo. So you clap last, so you do earn $100. So I will invite KS again to do club head count for the next 2 minutes before we call the guest speaker.
Well, fellow Rotarians, when we started and tried to find out the clubs that are here, I go with, have you added anybody? I go with still one. Oh, I go with, Tanwa, okay, begin 2. Epenet 6-3, Ijabode 2, Ijabu Igbo 3 now. So you added 2, thank you. Ijagun Taswe, are you here now? Oh, how many of you? 2, thank you. Ikene Erike, you are now 3, so you added 1. Good. Maguro, are you here now? How many of you? Only you are come. Thank you for coming. Sagamu Central, still 4. Sagamu Metro, still 4 or 1. Another 1, so 5. Reigning champion. Then Sagamu Royal, 4. So you added 1. Then Arikolon Bridge. Not yet. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause again for KS. So on this note, I would like to invite our guest speaker, Dr. Rotarian and Dr. John Asiegu to be upstanding, while the Chief of Staff, PAG Akin Sumanu, is also invited to give us an abridged profile of the guest speaker. Our Chief of Staff, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. District Governor, fellow Rotarians, I'm privileged to do this. Dr. John Asiegu is recognized as Africa's leading emotional intelligence expert, working with individuals, families, and organizations to maximize potential and achieve their goals by leveraging the power of emotional intelligence. He holds a second master's degree in social psychology from Pebble Hill University and a PhD in business administration from Powers University, Delaware, USA. A PMI and group and CompTIA, a certified project management professional with a passion for project leadership, entrepreneurship, and talent management. Dr. John Asiegu, as a global speaker, John has reached millions of people in Africa, Asia, America, the UK, and Australia in his quest to help individuals, groups, and business organizations maximize their potential and reach peak performance. Let's appreciate this gentleman, please. He is the author of 3 books, one of which is the fast-selling Raising Generation Z project born out of the desire to help parents, guardians, and teachers leverage emotional intelligence to influence and positively influence their children, thereby saving them from drugs, suicide, peer pressure, depression, among other vices warring against the younger generations. Finally, he is a member of the Rotary Club of Ibadan, District 9126. John has participated in various education, health, and environmental projects. He presently serves as the membership chair of his local club. Please welcome Dr. John Asiegu.
Thank you very much. I would like to stand on the existing protocol because of our time. But especially I'd like to say thank you to our past district governor, PDG Abiodun. I am inspired today, sir. I just became a Paul Harris Fellow just recently. And just when you think you have gotten somewhere, then you see people that we are ahead of you. But that's the beauty of Rotary. It encourages you to keep getting better, improving yourself, participating, and serving humanity. This is maybe the number 52 club that have gone to speak at, or this 52 Rotary program that have spoken. So I've spoken in clubs around Nigeria. Last week I was at Rotary Club of Port Harcourt East. I've spoken in Abuja, in Lagos. I must have done maybe 20 clubs in Lagos. That is part of the reason why I joined Rotary, to use my own talent and my vocation to serve humanity. And today, sorry, I'm a trainer, so I'll be moving around a lot. We'll be looking at emotional intelligence. How, as leaders of Rotary, can we become more effective? You see, when we talk about funding, getting more money, when we talk about membership engagement, we are talking about human beings, right? Members, our community. So if we are going to be effective in achieving either increasing contribution to Rotary Foundation, attracting and retaining members, then this subject is critical to whether we succeed or not. My name is Dr. John. I've been introduced. I lead 3 organizations. One is a consulting outfit where we do corporate strategy and training for corporate organizations. I also lead a therapy outfit. I'm a certified therapist where we do cognitive behavioral therapies for individual, families, and groups. And then I run a third, I lead a third outfit, which is the John Civil Company. There is where I author books and do special executive coaching programs. So today I'm here with my latest work. With this book was launched June 14 this year, my 5th book. I'm saying this just to let you know that what I'm about to talk about, I know it, and I can use it to help you. Are we together? Thank you very much. So, we're going to be looking at emotions, how they impact our lives, leadership styles and emotional intelligence. You know, how do you resolve conflict leveraging emotional intelligence? I'll talk about emotional bank accounts, and then we look at empathy as a tool for fostering bonding. Like I said earlier, you cannot succeed with people without connecting with them. It is impossible. In fact, I can tell you that whatever is happening at the club where you are today is a function of the connection or dissociation between the leadership and the members. Are we together? Now, there's a general saying that everything rises and falls on leadership. If a system will work, it depends on the leader. If a system will fail, it depends on the leader. However, sadly, we have leaders who don't understand that they are leading humans who are embodiment of emotion. Every human being is an embodiment of emotion. So the first thing I want you to write, if you are taking notes, is that every human being is an embodiment of emotion. As we are sitting in this room now, we are all feeling something. Somebody is sad, somebody is happy, somebody is hungry, somebody is worried, somebody is excited. And that feeling is what drives their behavior, their choices, their decisions. So when a person comes to our club and we make it fun and they are happy, they want to come back again. However, the mistake we make is that we don't pay attention on the fact that the emotion that is experienced through the activities that we do is what brings people back. So if I were the president, I would say, how do I want people to feel when they walk into our meetings? I come from a grandfather club. Rotary Club is the number 3 club in the whole of Nigeria. So we have Kano, we have Lagos, and then we have my club. To be membership chair in my club at this age is a privilege because we have ancestors there. Multiple past district governors. All right, not one, not two. So coming from that kind of environment, as membership chair, I have had to do certain things to make young people comfortable to stay. Because the truth is, if you enter a room and the place is hostile, you don't want to come back there. Am I correct? If it is not fun, if it's not interesting, if the people are not warm, then you don't want to go back to that place. Now, I will start by saying that people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Have you ever been in a situation where you see someone and you're angry, and someone asks you, why are you angry? And the person says, oh, Shelly. Then the person asks, kí ló ṣe fún ẹ? Mi ò rántí for ó Shelly. Now, what happens is this. There is an emotion that occurred in the past based on an interaction. Now, you may have forgotten the details of what that person did. But once you see that person, you experience what? And that is what in psychology we say is element of trauma. Do you know that there are people that you see and you become traumatized based on they resembling somebody that maybe sexually harassed you as a child? Now, as a psychologist, when people come to me, I have to ask this question: what is it? So you meet a strange person, then that person reminds you of an uncle. You know, I've seen this in practice, who sexually harassed the girl, and the moment she sees this person, the pain comes all over again. The emotion, the anger, the bitterness. What that tells me is that everybody is driven by how they feel. All right? And so moving on, what are emotions? There are 3 elements of emotions. Because of time, I'm moving very fast. There's a subjective experience like what I just described. There's a physiological response. When I'm doing my comprehensive training, I talk about this a lot. What a physiological response means is your heart beats. Sometimes you begin to sweat when you are angry. Your heart beats fast. Sometimes you shiver. Sometimes your voice shakes. You see, we do not understand the gravity of how an emotion that is intangible has the power to control our physical state. Do you understand what I'm saying? In fact, research has it that if you express certain kind of emotions at a certain intensity, it can affect your health. So, if cancer is associated with anger, anybody that is perpetually bitter, you know there are some people that you can never make them happy. They are always bitter, angry about something. Such a person is said to be prone to having cancer. Have you ever experienced a level of anxiety that you begin to want to stool, use the toilet? There are people that when they are, in a very tense environment, they quickly want to pee. That is your body responding to an emotion. Why am I saying all of this? When you go back to your clubs, please pay attention that each person you meet is feeling something. And if you can connect to what they are feeling, and I'm going to talk about empathy, and you can manage it, then you can get the best out of them. Are we together? You can get the best out of it. I can work with anybody. Let me give you a practical example. If you see a man, an average man in Nigeria, and you want to be his friend, just ask him, what football club do you support? The first thing you see, there's a smile on the face. Then he says, Man U. And then you say, you guys won last week. Immediately there's a connection. Am I saying the truth? That connection is based on the feeling that has been established on mutual interest. So I just taught you something. When you meet somebody for the first time, maybe a prospective member, find something that interests them and make that the subject of discussion. Is somebody writing that down? That is one very practical step of connecting with anybody. Now, the last one is the behavioral response. This is that thing you do, the action, like when you're angry, you break the phone or you shout. This is great. So, an emotion has an experience, a physiological response, like I described, and then a behavioral or expressive response. So, there are people that when they are angry, they break things. That is the behavioral response. And then when you ask them what happened, they say, I that person. So let's take our club meeting, for example. There's that club member that whenever they disagree with something, they raise their hand, they collect the microphone, and they want to scatter the meeting. Are we together? We have such members in our clubs sometimes. They want to, I do not agree. I do not agree. That's a behavioral response. And if we are going to grow Rotary, and I'm very passionate about what Rotary stands for. Every week, I take at least one learning course on my Rotary. And I'd like to encourage you here, if you are not on my Rotary, please do and take advantage of the abundance of knowledge and resources that is out there. Moving on. Now, what are the things that influences the emotions that we experience? Many people don't understand this fact. And this is why we are confused as to why is this person like this. So one of it is personality. Seated in this room are people with different personalities. So we have polarity, we have sanguines, we have the melancholy, we have the phlegmatic, people who are conservative, people who are aggressive. There are some leaders, for example, that you cannot get in their way, they'll march on your head and pass. Do you understand what I'm saying? When there's an assignment to be done, they have to do the job. If you like, follow. If you like, don't follow. So you have some president that only them will do their year without carrying members along. That president most likely lacks emotional intelligence. Because people will not just follow you. They won't just follow you. You have to give people a reason to what? To follow you. And that's what leadership is about. Now, there's culture. In this part of the world, and I grew up in the West, even though I bear an Igbo name, I'm literally a Yoruba boy because my wife is Yoruba and my nursery school, secondary school is here. And I know that in this our culture, there's a way you pass the door. You have to be humble for them to open the door for you. If you are arrogant, you will not go far. Is that not true? So you have to stay what? You stay. So if you become president and in this environment you want to show everybody that you are the president of the club, they will leave the club for you. Is that not correct? You will do it by yourself. And at the end of the Rotary year, we will score you to see whether you did well or not. Then we have gender. The way women express emotions is different from the way men express emotions. So if you are a leader here, you cannot speak to a woman the way you speak to a man. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you are talking to a man, you go straight. When you want to talk to a woman, you have to go round. If you go straight talking to a woman, you have problems. Problem. Even they don't know how to go straight. Oh, okay. Do you want us to run a quick test now? We should do a test. If you ask a woman, how are you doing? Wait. That's one question. The other one here is, I don't even know. Now, what I mean by that is the way we express emotions vary, and the way we express them also vary. This is not a way against. No. It's that biology, nature. And I'm saying to the men, leaders of the club, your female members, please listen to me as I'm begging you to say. When you want to have meetings, have conversations, present matters in a collaborative way. Don't go straight so that you get the results that you want. All right. Social strata, this has to do with basically class, right? So you find out that certain people, not because they want to be proud, but because they've experienced soft life from a childhood, they tend to appear prideful and they will not drink. Maybe someone says, I can't drink this kind of water. And you see the person as proud. But the truth is that person maybe grew up in an environment where they drank a more sophisticated kind of water. Sorry, sir. And then they just cannot drink this type. And so there's social strata. Then there's this one, emotion contagion. Everybody have what we call cells that mirror. So if you stay in the room with an angry person for a period of time, you can begin to experience anger. Are we together? So as president of fellowship, as chair of the committee, you must ensure that you regulate the emotional energy in your meetings. First, you be sensitive to you regulate. How do you regulate? When you notice tension, you quickly douse it. You don't fuel tension. There are certain questions you ask that makes a person to calm down. Maybe a person is coming from somewhere, they've just been frustrated. You know what they call transferred aggression? A lot of people bring it to meetings. Are you understand what I'm saying? Are we together? They bring it to meeting. They have a problem at the office, and a meeting like my own club, our meetings are 6 for 6:30. So somebody is coming from the office. They've had issues and all that. They come to the meeting, and you say something that just triggers them, and then they want to cause chaos. And we're talking about membership. We're talking about retention. We're talking about donation. This same person that is having frustration, you know the person can donate, but if you don't manage it well, out of anger, the person goes away, and then you lose the person and you lose the money. Whether we like it or not, Rotary needs all of us. All of us. Our $1, $2, $3, $5. So what am I doing here? I'm trying to connect Rotary and emotional intelligence as it affects communication and leadership to help us to get better results. All right. So moving forward, what determines whether a person will do what you ask them to do without giving you problems? I will skip this part and I will go straight here because of our time. There's something called consistency. If you are consistent in being kind to people, consistent in serving people, like in my club, they are going to see this video and they go, John goes all over the place to speak. But every Thursday, I'm the barman at the club. Yes, I will, I will not wear suit when I'm, Thursday is my own holiday. I will serve drinks round. So when it's time to ask somebody to do something, for example, I tell people, you don't pay your due, transfer your money. And they respond. Meanwhile, the president has gone to them to say, they did not answer. Are you understand what I'm saying? Consistency will build trust. And with trust, you can influence people. Now, there are different kinds of leadership. Like you can see here, there is the autocratic where you command people. And sometimes you may get results. For example, if you're a boss and you're paying somebody a salary, you can make them to do anything you want them to do, because if they don't, they're not going to get a salary. But in an organization like Rotary, that is a willful donation organization, you cannot force anybody to give. You cannot force anybody to pay their due. But you can influence them to do that, and you will get better results. Both as a club and as a district, and even as a zone, Rotary is relying on us to grow. Our numbers have been around 1.2, 1.4 for a while. And I feel that if you understand emotional intelligence as a zone, as as Africa, and we apply it, Rotary will grow in numbers and in donation. Now, there's something called emotional bank. Everybody has an emotional bank, whether you are aware of it or not. Sitting here, you have an emotional bank. What does that mean? It's either you have money, emotional money, or you don't have. How do you know someone that does not have emotional money? They are easily irritated, they lack focus, they are not happy. How do you know someone who is emotionally rich? They are warm, they are friendly, they are calm, they are not easily triggered. That's an emotionally rich person. They are able to share kindness. When you sit around them, you feel the energy. Now, the people that are emotionally poor, they trigger strife, they are not happy with themselves. And I'm not saying they are bad people. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Now, why am I saying this? As a leader, your goal should be that every interaction is a credit to your emotional bank. And if you identify someone who is emotionally low, what do you do as a leader? You are not supposed to leave that person. You are supposed to help that person. That's why leadership is sacrifice. I say to people, leadership is not about title. Many people want to be president of club, want to be AG, but they are not interested in the pain that comes with leadership. And there's no excuse in leadership. You have to get the job done. And I say this because I train for corporate. If you cannot get the job done, don't take the role. If you take the role, get the job done. You cannot say, it's not my fault. No, it's your fault. If we win, it's your fault. If we lose, that's why if you watch football, the moment the team loses, the coach is the problem. Are we together? Yeah. He has given instructions to the boys. Play this, play this. They go there, maybe they play something different, but they lose. The coach is the problem. And that's what leadership is about. So it's either you are leading or you're not leading, there are no excuses. But to make leadership easy, you must understand the place of emotions, that every human being will move based on how they feel. So if you can understand how they feel, influence how they feel, you can get them to move in the direction that you want them to. Are we together? Are we learning something? All right. Now, how do we leverage empathy? Empathy is one of the components of emotional intelligence. We have 5 major pillars of emotional intelligence. We have self-awareness, we have self-regulation, we have intrinsic motivation, we have social skills, all right, and then we have people management. Now, empathy, which is also called social skills, is a key tool for building bonds among you and other people. You and your team, you and your spouse, president to president, president to AG, president. So, how do you leverage it? Number one, asking open-ended questions. Let me give you an example. If you ask someone, was the food sweet? You're asking the person to give you a yes or no answer. Are we together? Was the food sweet? Or if you say, did you like the food? That's also a yes and no. That's a closed question. Are we together? Now, if you ask somebody, what do you think about the food? That's an open-ended question. Now, let me tell you how powerful open-ended questions are. They give room for collaboration, for discussion. They tell the other person that you are interested in them. If you say, how are you? Person says, fine, you go. Do you know that we're not usually sensitive to when you say, how are you? Let's just say, I'm keep quiet. But if you ask the person, how are you feeling today? If they say, fine, pause, don't say anything. I promise you, after like 3 to 5 seconds, they will continue talking. If you think I'm lying, try this. The morning start this way. They will not start telling you, it's just that. As I was coming on the road, the keke man, this happened. Do you understand? And that helps you to connect. And trust me, the moment you connect with somebody, they will bend their backs over for you. There's a level of connection you have with the person. They will go the extra mile. There's nobody that cannot do something. If the person is, should they be able to do it for you? Are you getting what I'm saying? Have you earned it in their trust book? Have you earned it through consistency where you can now influence them to take action? And this we must apply. As committee chair, it's not easy. They bring people randomly, they say, okay, lead them, do this project. But you have to be able to influence them to work with you, else you're not going to be able to get the work done. Number 2, listen without judgment. In this part of the world, we listen to respond. Are we together? We don't listen to understand. We are just waiting for the person to finish talking so that we can say our own. Guess what? The person knows that you are just waiting for them because you can see it on your face. And this is why we don't get results in meetings. Yeah. And this is why we don't get participation. Because We already have what we want to say, and we are waiting for the person to finish speaking, and then we say, and then we are not communicating. Just that communication is a very complex process. A very complex process. There is the sender, there is the receiver, there is the channel, there is noise, and in all of these, you have to ensure that the person knows that you understand what they are trying to say. I can't go into the details of effective communication now because of our time. Now, moving forward, you have to step away from yourself. What this means is you cannot always see things from your point of view. Are we together? The reason why some clubs are not growing is that the leaders there have very closed mind. It's either this way or no other way. We are not open to ideas. We are not open to innovation. This is very common and it's very saddening. And then we want to grow. Growth does not happen in an environment where people are not open to new ideas. And Rotary is telling us that we have to be innovative in the way we interact within ourselves and with our community. Now, be graceful with your words. You can say the same thing in two different ways. You can say it in a way and the person will receive it. I've ever seen two friends, right? They meet each other after a while and one says, wait, and then they greet and they hug, right? Then another person comes to that person and says, wait, and then, are you man? Why will you come? Now, the same thing is said, but by two different people. Let's use our words carefully when we speak. Now, let's look at smart ways to resolve conflicts, leveraging emotional intelligence. You have to choose the right time and the right place. There is something you say to someone at a certain place and they will receive it. If you say it in another place, they will fight you. Are we together? So you have to choose the right time, and as a leader, you should not use public confrontation as your first tool. It's wrong. You must first try private confrontation or private conversations. When that doesn't work, right, you can then bring it to the public. Okay, so it is not okay for you to, when you disagree with someone, the first thing you want to do is come to the public and talk about it. Number two, validate every emotion. There is no emotion that is good or bad. So when someone is angry, don't tell them, why are you angry? Say, I understand you are angry. You don't have to know the why, but you must acknowledge the feeling. Because if a person says they are angry and you say you have no right to be angry, you are telling that person that they have no right to be human. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Because every human being must experience emotion. Now, because of the anger, we may not understand. But you must first say, I understand you are angry. Can we talk about it? Not, you know, all those very harsh though. And they will now wonder why we are not getting the results that we want. All right? And one thing about it is this hostility transfers from one person to another. So that person transfers that hostility. So before you know, 5 people hate you. Meanwhile, it's one person that you have issue with. Are you understanding what I'm saying? All right. So think collaboration. Always think collaboration. If there's a task to be done, think the goal. Don't think the people. Stop focusing on people. Focus on the picture. If you think collaboration, you'll be able to make compromise. If you think collaboration, you'll be able to make compromise. If you think collaboration, you'll be able to make compromise. Keep the big picture in mind, of course. At all times, always ensure that you are focusing on what are we trying to achieve, not who is upset or who is making life difficult. So if you keep the big picture inside, you'll be able to work better with people. But when you are very closed-minded, you're going to have a lot of conflict and you'll be able to achieve your goals. With this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you that Rotary is good, and let us all come to serving humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A round of applause. Very sounding round of applause for our guest speaker. And one thing I've learned here is don't ask any woman an open-ended question. If you ask her, how are you, and if she says, I'm not fine, just say it is well. If you ask, what is the problem, then we will send her back to work. That's on the matter of the please, our guest speaker, thank you so much. We appreciate your presence and the knowledge that you have invited on us this afternoon. On behalf of the district, we say thank you to you, and to say also well to Rotary Club of Onabanjo District 9126. On this, let me invite you to be upstanding. I will also invite our past district governor, Jide Akeredolu, to please be upstanding to do the needful to our speaker. For photograph, and we also crave the indulgence of our district governor to please be available to take photograph with the guest speaker. Thank you.
How many of you, I want to ask a close question. How many of you enjoyed the presentation just now? Wow. Almost everybody. I think, it's rare that you have presentations or speeches like that in which a very complex issue, and so complex also is put in such an easy way for us to understand. It's not a skill, it's a gift. I think our Rotarian is quite gifted in not only knowing how to dissect very complex issue, because this is a very complex thing, and it's something we're going to be digesting, all the information that we've all got today. And no wonder I said he's visited 52 clubs. I'm already listing the one he will be inviting him also again to come through, because we need to learn things like this. It makes a whole lot of difference in how we manage ourselves, how we manage our clubs, how we manage our families, and so on and so forth. So it's quite a pleasure to present this to you, and as a little token, those are digits, silver and gold we don't have, and but when you say this, remember that the Signal 112 was very appreciative of your presentation. Congratulations.
Thank you. Our women, how are you? I hope we are doing well. Okay. So on this note, let me invite our second guest speaker, the charter president of the Rotary Club, Eko Cosmopolitan. And please be upstanding. I would also like to invite Rotarian Owolewa to please come to the podium to give us an abridged profile of our guest speaker, Rotarian Abiodun. Please let's put our hands together for one of our women in the room.
The district governor, fellow Rotarians, it's my distinct honor to present the citation of Rotarian Temitayo Ayoride Afolabi, a highly accomplished professional in the field of financial management and business development. With over 20 years of diverse experience, she has demonstrated expertise across communication, crisis management, talent supervision, business analysis, financial advisory, and digital transformation, making significant contributions in both the public and private sectors. She is a proud graduate of Rotary Leadership Institute and holds several esteemed affiliations, including Associate of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries, Associate Member of the Institute of Strategic Management Nigeria, Associate Member of the Chartered National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, Member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Member of numerous Rotary Fellowship. Throughout her service, she has actively participated in various district committees, including but not limited to Public Image, Polio Plus, Rotary Week of Service, Family of Rotary Subcommittee, Women in Rotary Conference Planning, District Public Image, Foundation Dinner and Dance. She has also served in DCS, CLLS. Join me in welcoming and celebrating our dear esteemed Charter President, Temitayo.
Thank you very much. Ourselves once again, please. Ourselves once again. Okay. supposed to be for my chairperson, who is unavoidably absent. I'm representing PHA Ibrahima. He's the chairperson of the district public image. Well, we've been sitting down for so long, so there's $100 for grabs. I will tell you the question in a few minutes. How many of us have paid Eric? Our foundation chair said so much. How many of us are Eric compliant? Okay, so do you still want to win the $100? You're already compliant. You still want it? Yes. Okay, the question is loading. But before we do that, a lot of us are on our phones. Let us stand up, let us stretch. We want to sing. Do we sing in Ogun State? We do? We do. Thy praises I love to sing. Rotary, my Rotary. My homage now to you I bring. Rotary, my Rotary. With friendship, loyalty, and cheer, I serve my brothers far and near. I know that priests are heaven dear. Rotary, my Rotary. Give somebody high five beside you. High five, high five, high five. Okay. You may please sit. Thank you. The profile of our House Assistant Governor is unavoidably absent outside the country. And on behalf of the District Public Image Committee, I am happy to be in the state. I am very happy to be here. Thank you very much for receiving us. Unite for Good. How many of us are conversant with the Rotary Brand Center? You've ever logged onto it before? Ever? You've clicked on it before? Can I see a wave hand? Okay, okay. How many of us get non-Rotarians to do our branding? Okay. How many of us brand ourselves from the brand center? Okay. It's easy. You know, one of our brothers, Dr. Asiego, mentioned that we should go to my Rotary. How many of us know our Rotary IDs? ID. You know your ID by heart. You can say it to me now. You know. You know, some people started attacking all the PDGs and the DG and the DGE and the DGN when we went to Calgary in June. Because it became an issue. We got to immigration in some countries, even Morocco here. They asked, they were asking, what is your Rotary ID? What are you going to do? Are you going to Toronto, Manitoba, or Calgary, Alberta? Why are you going through Toronto? Why are you not going directly? We couldn't answer. Some were club presidents, they were sent back. Emotions were high. I was glad about the emotional intelligence lecture. Emotions ran very high. I was on several platforms and it was very, very high. It is easy. We can all do this on the brand center. How many of us know that we have Rotary ID template on the brand center? So as a president, we can do it and say, you know what, my tenure, I'm signing, is expiring June 2025. That person has it, the number will be on it. It's easy for them. The template is there, you will just type like this and download, and then we can give it to anybody to, print and laminate. Unite for Good. You have blue and you have that other color. If you go to the brand center, you will know that not every blue is the same color. There's a specification. How many of us know the approved fonts we are supposed to use? Do you know we have approved fonts in Rotary? We have approved fonts. We have 2 primary fonts, and if we cannot use those 2, we have 2 secondary fonts that we're supposed to use. These are just preliminaries. We are people of action. We create sustainable change. I was listening, during the graduate class on membership attraction, our RIPE dwelled so much on the need for us to grow membership. Our lady facilitator, PGKS, also stressed this. If we want this opportunity to come to us faster as Nigerians, we need to grow membership. Whatever it takes, I want to say that Maybe it is because of us that, the last time it was announced that membership has even come down from 25-20 to what now? To what now? To charter a club, you have to have a minimum of how many people? 15. We can do 15. Let us go to Ilaro, all the places that we mentioned. With 15 people, 15 quality people, financially strong people, intellectual people, we can make it happen. If we cannot afford to pay for a venue, we can do online. Let us make it happen. That is the one. I'm not speaking on behalf of our leaders, but I know that membership, especially for us in Nigeria and Africa, we want this opportunity and we need to, as a matter of urgency, work on our membership. I need you to, I don't know, you can, maybe another system should help me look for the Rotary wheel, please. I want to say something about it. I'll call values, I don't want to dwell on this. At the end of this session, it is expected that we'll be able to tell our stories better and correctly and know about storytelling. So we say a lot of stories. Everybody loves good stories. When I was growing up, there was a time when NTA didn't come up until 4 p.m. There was no television until 4 p.m. Now, we have spoiled our children because we felt our parents were strict, giving them everything. There should be a time, for this thing. And there was Tales by Moonlight. There was storytelling, folktale, folklore. I used to be Yorubas. Don't grind the mortar like this. Don't do this with the mortar. Something will happen to you. Don't do this. We had so many things we used to teach us, values, culture, instill the right behavior in us. We need to tell stories that way again. But in Rotary, we need to tell it better. PDGK said something. When we are reporting, we're telling our story. What do you post? Do you post the fellowship? Every club worldwide, they have fun fellowship. They go out, they do the dog walking, they do the beer drinking. Friendship exchange last year or 2 years ago, we were in the UK. I think the Club of Stains, Rotary Club of Stains, was a long distance. But there was a lot of beer drinking. When they posted, I didn't see anything relating or pertaining to the drinking at all on their page. There was a situation some months ago on our platform, for those of you that are on the platform, some clubs posted something. And they said it was their celebratory fellowship. And a lot of people came at them. Not because it was wrong to have a celebratory fellowship, but because what you were posting seemed like, there was an overflow of beer, you were all pouring in the cups, everything was spilling. So what message were you trying to pass across? You're a fun club, but that was not the action picture that we need, to portray. Especially if you are sending it out, you never know where those things will get to, So let us learn to tell our stories right. I want to give another example. Polio eradication, polio inoculation. There's going to be another one. Okay, no, we've done it already for the month of December. No? What? No, now it's going on now. Yes, it's going on now. When you are inoculating or dropping that thing on the mouth of the child, that's not the time for you to do it. No, that is not the action thing. It is that thing you are holding, the drop. If possibly the camera can capture that drop before it gets to the child of the mouth of the child, that is your action picture. Some of us have come to the public image team and we've complained. Oh, there's so many things we do. It's not recorded. We don't see it on RI. It's not posted. They don't do this. They release us to the background. Our leaders also know we complain. The dues are increasing. Is this? We're the only ones complaining. I mean, that's our membership. I'll get there. We need to focus on, But the pictures, because we're not taking the pictures correctly. Okay, I mentioned the pictures using. When you tell stories, would make people remember, what they're about. So I had a corporate governance exam, and one of my colleagues said, "Oh, we need to remember what they taught us." So how do we remember? So somebody said, "We are Harik." Somebody else said, "What's Harik?" ARIC here? He said no. ARIC is accountability, responsibility, integrity, and the C is not the K for the other one. It's C for, maybe confidentiality. So I'm like, oh, okay. So every time you hear ARIC now, even though it's airline, you will first of all remember what I've said. Is that true or false? Is that true or false? Okay, who wants to tell me ARIC? 1. 1 is what? 2 is what? 3 is what? C is what? That's not the $100. It's still coming. The $100 is coming, and it's going to be one person that will raise the hand and say, and the DJ and my PDG was George, who should collect the prize. How do we document our experiences? When we invite reporters to our events, especially non-Rotarians, they do not know our nomenclature. They do not know what we are about. It's our duty, and the duty of public image officers, or the duty of the person who invites them to communicate and say, when you are reporting, this is who you mention first. For instance, when I first heard RIP, and they put the details here, okay. Because RIP, everybody thinks RIP is this. But in Rotary, RIP is Rotary International President. We have RIPE. Our right, but I say that you know, all of us only. Yes, all of us only. And the only way we can make him proud is to grow membership. But don't say you own him without growing membership. Now I heard RIP, and I was like, RIP. But in Rotary, when you hear RIP, you know that it means Rotary International President-elect. Not all our reporters know this. So the way they report our stories is different. There's nothing wrong with the public image and the secretary and the president coming together, doing a little write-up, confirm what we have written, make sure it's properly done, and then you give to them and say, this is how, we write Rotary. So please present an action picture, either in the daily or something. It affects the way we sell our ideas. We want to do a wash project, and we show children washing their hands. It's really not saying anything. You can do a comparison picture. What was the situation that we met before we started that project? There's a club in Lagos that is currently renovating some wards in a hospital. When I saw a picture of before, cobwebs, broken wheelchairs, broken beds, all sort of things, the floors, no lighting, nothing. And it's not complete yet. My DG has not gone to commission it yet, but I know that project is grossing maybe about between 50 and 80 million. The picture I am seeing currently, they are not done, but what I can see now, I'm like, wow, you mean there was a hospital ward like this, and now it is like this? There is no how it's not going to catch somebody's attention. Should be